Just as a solid rock is not shaken by the wind, so the wise remain unmoved by praise or blame. We all strive for a bit of peace in our hectic lives, right? But it's crazy how often we end up feeling like we're running on empty. You see, it's not just about being physically tired. It's about that deep, emotional drain that sneaks up on us. Now, think about the Stoics of ancient times. They knew the secret was in mastering control over their internal states, not the chaos around them. And in today's fast-paced world, that wisdom couldn't be more crucial. So, why do we end up so drained? Because we're making some pretty common mistakes with our energy without even realizing it. Stick around, because today we're diving deep into how to shield your vibe and keep your inner peace rock solid even when life tries to shake it up. And hey, if you find value in exploring these life-changing perspectives, consider hitting that subscribe button. It's a simple, free way to keep this wisdom flowing. Don't skip any part of this. Trust me, every piece of advice here is a step towards reclaiming your calm. Let's crack the code to protecting our energy together, inspired by the timeless insights of Stoicism. Mistake 1, the oversharing dilemma. You know that feeling when you just want to share everything that's on your mind? Whether it's excitement over a new project or venting frustration about your day, it feels natural to want to unload and share your experiences with friends, family, or even on social media. But here's the thing. Every time you share a piece of your life, you're also giving away a slice of your personal energy. And not all of these exchanges are beneficial to you in the long run. The ancient Stoics were big on the idea of discretion and mindfulness in communication. They taught that not every thought needs to be expressed, and not every emotion needs to be shared. Why? Because real power comes from inner reserve and control over one's expressions. This concept of right speech isn't about withholding your truth, but about choosing your moments to speak wisely. It's about asking yourself, is this necessary? Is it beneficial? Is it true? These questions can be a powerful filter that helps maintain your tranquility. When you overshare, especially in today's digital age, you open yourself up to an array of potentially draining responses. For example, while sharing personal triumphs and tribulations might invite support and empathy, it also leaves room for envy, judgment, and even unwanted advice. This can lead to unnecessary stress and anxiety, which could have been avoided if we'd simply chosen to share less and reflect more internally. Furthermore, think about the kind of energy that returns to you when you overshare. Not all of it will be positive. Each piece of personal information you let out can be misused, misunderstood, or manipulated. This isn't just about being cautious. It's about being strategic with your personal energy, much like a Stoic. They believed in maintaining a fortress around one's mind, only allowing in and expressing thoughts that serve a purpose and align with one's core principles. In our everyday interactions, adopting a Stoic approach means speaking less, but saying more. It means valuing the quality of our words over the quantity. When you do choose to share, share with purpose. Think about the outcomes. Will this sharing improve the situation? Will it contribute positively to my life and the lives of others? If the answer is uncertain, maybe that piece of information is best kept within the serene sanctuary of your own mind. By practicing this selective sharing, you're not just protecting your privacy and peace. You're also cultivating a more profound connection with those you do choose to trust. This builds deeper, more meaningful relationships that are based on genuine interaction rather than superficial exchanges. It's about creating a circle of interaction that enriches rather than exhausts your spirit. So next time you feel the urge to spill the beans about something personal, take a moment to pause and reflect. Consider the Stoic virtue of restraint and ask yourself those critical questions about necessity, benefit, and truth. This way, you ensure that every word you speak contributes positively to your life and resonates with the wisdom of a well-thought-out philosophy. This isn't just about keeping secrets. It's about knowing the immense value of what you hold and sharing only what will foster growth, understanding, and real connection. Mistake 2. Don't absorb negativity. There's a certain warmth in being the person others turn to when they need to talk about their problems. It feels good to be trusted, to be that shoulder to lean on. But have you ever noticed how sometimes, after a long chat meant to help a friend, you end up feeling more drained than they do? It's like you've taken a bit of their emotional load and added it to your own. While empathy is a beautiful quality, there's a fine line between feeling for someone and feeling with them to the point where their emotional baggage becomes yours. The Stoics taught the importance of detachment, not the cold, uncaring kind, but a thoughtful detachment that allows us to offer support without becoming overwhelmed by others' emotions. They believed in being present and compassionate, yet not so emotionally invested that we lose our own grounding. This is crucial because when we start absorbing the stress and struggles of others, we compromise our ability to be truly helpful, not to mention risking our own peace of mind. Imagine this. Your friend is upset about a work situation, and you listen and provide comfort. That's compassionate. But if you carry that worry with you, ponder on it, feel the stress of it as if it were your own, you're not just being compassionate. You're taking on an emotional load that isn't yours to carry. This not only adds to your stress levels, but also diminishes your capacity to manage your own challenges effectively. Practicing Stoic wisdom involves recognizing what is within our control and what isn't. Your reactions, your emotions, your decisions, these are in your power. Other people's feelings and life situations, those are beyond your control. When you internalize this, you can listen to and support your friends without making their emotional state your own. You can be a pillar of strength, not because you shoulder their burdens, but because you offer a stable, calm presence that can be far more comforting than any shared misery. It's helpful to visualize this concept like a filter. Let the empathy flow freely, but keep the emotional residue out. When you find yourself getting too absorbed, take a step back. Breathe. Remind yourself, I can care without carrying. This mantra can help you maintain your equilibrium, offering support without sacrificing your well-being. Moreover, think about setting emotional boundaries. It's okay to tell someone, I care about you, but I'm not in a position to take on more stress right now. It's not selfish, it's necessary for your health and theirs. By maintaining these boundaries, you're not only protecting yourself, you're also modeling healthy emotional habits for those around you. Incorporating a bit of Stoic practice into your life doesn't mean you become less caring or compassionate. Rather, it means you approach your interactions with a balanced perspective, ensuring that you remain emotionally available without becoming emotionally consumed. This way, you help others from a place of strength and stability, which is ultimately more beneficial for everyone involved. As you practice this selective empathy, you'll find that your relationships can become deeper and more meaningful, grounded in mutual respect and understanding rather than codependency. This shift isn't just about preserving your energy, it's about enriching your connections in a way that uplifts everyone, including yourself. Mistake 3. Let go of grudges. Let's talk about the baggage we carry around, not the physical kind, but the emotional kind that seems to weigh us down long after its expiry date. You know, those old grudges and hurts that replay in our minds, those stories of betrayal or disappointment that we tell over and over again. It's almost like we're stuck on a loop, and each replay chips away at our peace of mind and zest for life. But why do we hold on to these pains, and what can we actually do to let them go? The Stoics believed that the past is something outside our control. Hence, dwelling on it is contrary to rational thought and a hindrance to personal peace. They would argue that every moment spent in the grip of past hurts is a moment not lived in the present, a loss of a precious opportunity to create new, positive experiences. Think about it this way. When you cling to past pain, you're essentially allowing history to dictate your present emotions and actions. It's like giving the past the power to control your now, which, when you think about it, is a pretty hefty price to pay. The Stoics would suggest practicing what they call the art of indifference to things that don't contribute positively to your life. This isn't about suppressing your feelings, but about changing your response to them. It's deciding actively not to give past pain the power to impact your current state. So, how do you begin to let go of these old emotional wounds? Start by acknowledging that while the past events were real and they did hurt, they don't need to keep causing pain. This can be challenging, especially when emotions are deeply entrenched, but it's also empowering. You start to realize that you have the choice to not relive that pain, to not let those events keep their hold on you. It can also be helpful to practice forgiveness, both towards others and yourself. Forgiveness here doesn't mean forgetting or excusing what happened, but rather freeing yourself from the burden of anger and resentment. It's a gift you give yourself, a declaration that you are more invested in your present happiness than your past hurt. Stoicism teaches us that this type of forgiveness is a form of wisdom, knowing when something no longer serves a purpose in your life and is detrimental to your well-being. Additionally, engage in reflective thinking about what lessons the painful experiences have taught you and how they have shaped you into the person you are today. This reframing can transform feelings of victimhood into stories of survival and growth, shifting your narrative from one of suffering to one of empowerment. Finally, consider sharing your process of letting go with someone you trust, or even journaling about it. Sometimes verbalizing or writing down these feelings gives you a new perspective and helps cement your decision to move forward. It's like confirming to yourself and the universe that you are ready to unburden yourself. Remember, letting go of past pain is not an overnight process, but a journey. It requires patience, compassion, and persistence. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a step towards a lighter, more present, and joyful life. Embracing this Stoic approach will not only help you protect your energy, but also enhance your capacity to experience the fullness of life, unanchored by past weights. So, take that step, embrace the present with open arms, and let the past rest. Your peace of mind is worth it. Mistake 4. Learn to say no. Ever found yourself nodding along to yet another request, your mouth saying yes almost automatically, while inside you're screaming no? It's a common scenario, and it's so easy to fall into this pattern of being a yes man or yes woman. It feels good to be helpful, right? We all want to be seen as reliable, the go-to person who can handle anything. But here's the thing, when you say yes to everything, you might be saying no to your own well-being. Stoicism teaches us about the virtue of moderation and the importance of self-discipline. The Stoics believed that true freedom comes from living according to reason, not impulse. And let's be honest, many of those impulsive yes responses are more about avoiding conflict or seeking approval than about a reasoned decision. It's about feeling momentarily liked or avoiding the discomfort of letting someone down. However, Stoicism encourages us to look beyond the immediate discomfort and focus on the long-term effects of our choices. Is this yes going to add value to my life? Is it in line with my priorities and values? Let's dissect the implications of saying yes too often. Each yes is a slice of your time, energy, and focus. When you commit to something, you are inevitably saying no to something else. Maybe it's no to family time, personal relaxation, or working on a passion project. Over time, these missed opportunities can add up to a significant loss. Loss of personal growth, strained relationships, or missed chances at happiness. Now, turning this around starts with recognizing your right to set boundaries. Stoicism isn't about being passive. It's about being wise in your actions and choices. Reflect on what matters most to you and consider whether saying yes helps or hinders your path towards those values. The next time you're faced with a request, take a moment to think it over. Ask yourself, does this align with my goals? Will this drain my resources or enrich them? If the answer leans towards no, then it's okay to politely decline. Practicing the art of saying no can be transformative. It doesn't have to be harsh or confrontational. A simple, "Thank you for thinking of me, but I can't commit to this right now," maintains respect and clarity. Remember, every no is also saying yes to something else that is potentially more important for your life's harmony and balance. Moreover, as you get better at saying no, you might find that people respect your time and contributions more, not less. When you do say yes, it will carry more weight and meaning, reinforcing your reputation as someone who commits with intention. This not only strengthens your relationships, but also aligns your actions more closely with your personal philosophy. Mistake 5. Seeking approval from others. Ever caught yourself checking your phone just a little too often after posting something online, watching the likes and comments tick up? Or maybe you've changed your outfit 3 times before a social event, worried about what others might think. It's human nature to seek validation from those around us. This desire for approval can shape not just minor decisions, like fashion choices, but also major life paths, where we work, who we befriend, even who we are at our core. But let's pause for a moment and ask ourselves, what cost are we paying for this external validation? Drawing from Stoic philosophy, we find a powerful counterargument to this relentless search for approval. Stoicism teaches the importance of self-sufficiency and finding value within oneself rather than in the opinions of others. The Stoics believed that true contentment comes from living a life in line with one's own values and reason, independent of external praise or criticism. They would argue that the more we depend on others for our self-esteem, the less free we truly are, entrapped by the shifting sands of public opinion. Consider how much emotional energy we invest in anticipating how others might perceive us. This investment is often at the expense of our authentic selves. Each time we choose a path or a response primarily for its anticipated approval, we stray a little further from our true selves. The Stoics would advise us to redirect that energy from worrying about others' opinions to focusing on our own internal moral and ethical compass. This shift begins with a simple yet profound question: am I living for myself or for the approval of others? Reflecting on this can help clarify whether our actions are genuinely aligned with our personal beliefs or if they're merely performed for an audience. This is not about becoming indifferent to others, but about fortifying our sense of self, so that while we remain open to feedback, our self-worth isn't held hostage by it. Breaking free from the need for external validation allows us to pursue what genuinely fulfills us, not just what looks good in the eyes of others. It means making choices that resonate with our deepest values, even if they aren't the most popular or understood. The Stoic pursuit of authenticity involves embracing one's path with courage and integrity, confident that the only approval truly needed is one's own. Moreover, when we stop seeking external validation, we begin to attract people and opportunities that align with our true selves. Relationships become more straightforward and more meaningful when they are based on genuine mutual respect rather than superficial approval. Opportunities that align with our true talents and passions tend to follow suit, leading to a more fulfilling career and personal life. To cultivate this stoic resilience against the need for external approval, practice reflecting daily on your actions and decisions. Ask yourself, did I live today in a way that I respect? This self-reflection fosters an inner validation that is far more stable and satisfying than any external accolade could ever be. It shifts the focus from proving oneself to others to proving oneself to oneself. Thank you for tuning in and being a part of our Stoic Journal community. Remember, the journey to self-mastery is ongoing, and every step you take is a step towards a more resilient, authentic life. If you're looking to deepen your understanding and practice, check out one of the suggested videos on the screen. Dive in, continue your journey, and let the wisdom of Stoicism guide you. Until next time, keep striving, keep growing, and know that you are not alone on this path. Thank you for walking this journey with us.